What up, y'all? This is DJFreakycree. Tonight's episode, I'm going to be introducing myself on a special day of my birthday. I know that you guys are sitting here wondering who is DJFreakycree. I wonder who she is, where she come from, tons of questions. Well, I'm going to answer them for you and tell you guys a little bit about me, about my past, my present, and my future. I'm an artist, a musician, a DJ, and an entrepreneur. I've started songwriting at the age of 8 or 9 years old, roughly. I don't remember when I first started writing, but I started writing between those ages. I written my first orchestra piece at the age of 12. It was a very big accomplishment. This one had me sit there and play it in front of everybody else, and they seemed to sit there to like it. I'm a singer. I've sung all my life. I started in the church, of course, just like anybody else. I also sat there and I sung choir in school, where I've sung choir in school from 5th grade all the way up until my senior year in high school. Yeah, because they started choir in 5th grade. I've got to sing in Nashville, Tennessee, my 7th grade year. We went down there and we performed. It was pretty fun. I liked it down there. We had tons of fun. It was a nice competition. We didn't win, but I enjoyed it and had fun. I had a group a long time ago when I was a kid. When I first started songwriting, we were called the Blue Angels. I remember it was me and my 3 other cousins together. We wanted to get a group together and sing, because we all can sit there and sing among other stuff, but we wanted to build a group together and be stars, be the next new Destiny's Child. As a musician, I played the violin since I 10 years old, on the 4th grade when we first started. I've played at my mom's job, First Card. We perform in Disney. We perform at Six Flags Great America. I had fun throughout the time that I sat there and played. And I played from 4th grade all the way up until my senior year in high school. Within those years, I taught myself how to play the viola and cello. I've also taught myself how to play the piano, and I played all of them by ear. So whatever I played on my violin, I sat there and went on other instruments and sat there and played whatever I was playing, and that's just how it's been going, and I'm still continuing to do it to this day, because right now I'm currently teaching myself how to play the guitar. As you might have heard a little glimpse of Happy Birthday at the beginning of my guitar, I've just learned, I played it by ear. Whatever the note was, I was sitting there following beat by beat. I just started doing the DJing. I tried to sit there doing DJ a long time ago. I had my own little DJ set and everything. But I kind of feel that this DJing is pretty fun. I'm actually enjoying doing it. I started a radio show on Station Head. I was just browsing around and I found somewhere I can be myself and sit there, have brief little conversations in between the shows, put my music on there, and share it with everyone to sit there and listen and vibe off the music that I love sitting there listening to. And of course, I started this podcast. It's been going on for a month so far, and it's been quite amazing. I've got it where people are sitting there a little bit listening to what I've been discussing on my podcast. I do have a special guest that will be speaking later on tonight, and he's going to talk about himself. He's going to introduce himself, and we're going to discuss many questions about music. He has his own podcast as well, we're going to get into that later. As for my entrepreneur, as you may know, I have a record label called Treble Music Records. You can find that off of any social media sites. I'm also currently working on my food truck right now, where I've been making lots of barbecue sauces and I will soon be having them out for sale. Roughly, probably in the next couple of weeks, I'll probably have them out there for sale. I can't wait. Yeah, of course, you can find the Sizzle on any social media sites. You can see whatever barbecue sauces I've been making. That's going to be on the menu. We're going to be selling chicken, soul food. We're going to feed everybody here in Springfield, Illinois, among the people, the homeless people around here. Because we got tons of homeless people that walk around. Leftover food, why throw it away when you can sit there and give it to people who are way less fortunate, that don't even know where their next meal's coming from. So that was our initiated plan. We want to give out to those who don't have what we have. And also, I have a production company which I make music, beats. I'll write songs for anybody that needs anything that deals with music. It's called Productions. Kind of mix it up with the record label name, Treble Music Records. I'm really talking about the treble clef. But it goes in. When you get in trouble, you can say, I'm in trouble. Which, of course, on the picture it says, I'm in trouble. Yes, so anybody who needs music, anybody needs lyrics, I'm your number one person to sit there and do it for you. Among other things I've done graphic design work. I can do that. All you guys know that mainly all my pictures, I make them myself. I created and doing the fonts and all of that. I do that myself. So any inquiries, most definitely you guys can hit me up either on the Sizzle sites or Treble Music Records. And that's basically who DJFreakycree is as a musician. A lot of the stuff I'm going to sit there, I'm going to bring up an interview with a fellow colleague of mine that I've known. And I'm going to ask him certain questions. Like I had told you guys, so who is DJFreakycree? Of course, we're going to learn to know exactly who he is and what inspired him to music, what project he's currently working on, what message he does give in his music and his background, the greatest music era and why. It was a pretty interesting topic, a question that I picked out that we really collabed on. Who would he like to collaborate with musically? If there was anything he would change in the music industry, that was a big question too, because there's a lot of stuff that he wants to change, and it's kind of similar to mine's, and anything out there to the listeners as well. Getting back to his Treble Music Records, as some of these questions that I sat there and was asking him, I think about it myself. If there was anything I would change in the music industry, I would say my record label, I want to make real music. People who play instruments, and I do it from there. Like, I can play the piano. I can get a good melody on the piano and sit there and give you guys a nice, good beat off of that. My guitar can sit there and give you some rough edges, and violin, you can use it for anything. Now it's morally fine, it's open, that people can play the violin, because normally they'll think that it's classical music and that's all you sit there and hearing from them. No, it's more than that. You can sit there and do more with the violin than you think. It actually progressed since I first started, which I'm really blessed about that. I'm excited. But we're going to take a quick break, and I will be back to sit there to let you guys listen to my interview that I have with a friend of mine. Well, you already know I am DJFreakycree. This is Trouble. And today we're going to talk about you introducing yourself to everybody out there as an artist. So, who is Dimo Montez?
Well, it's actually Dimo, but I'll take the Demo because it caused a little controversy. Like it's close That's what I be thinking about when people say that. But I'm a singer, songwriter. I do my own podcast called Details with Dimo, and I'm trying to be an entrepreneur in the shoe business. So hopefully that come about. But I got my own little, thing going. I would say like it's in between like R&B, hip hop, rap and all that. I rap a little bit, but it's like a undefined type of genre. I could say because you go get some slow stuff, then you might get some fast from me. You just never know. Whatever comes to me at that moment and how I feel, that's what it is. So I just like to paint pictures with my music.
Okay, okay. I feel you on that. I like that. So, what inspired you to do music?
Well, I come from a musical family. Like I got people I grew up with that such as my uncle, like he used to be a blues singer. He passed away a few years ago. My dad that passed away, he used to be a guitar for different groups and everything back in the day, you know what I mean? Um like
All
believe
right.
it or not, some of them Disney movies I grew up watching and Sister Act and even Alvin and the Chipmunks. Like I just always just had like that was kind of like my way of expressing myself, whether did I know it or not. But like I just came from like a musical background, and I just always, I can say what I want when I'm singing. Basically, I was kind of like one of them kids. If it make any sense, like I grew up shy, but like when you used to people being used to you being quiet or something, when you like start standing up for yourself, some people don't take you serious. So it looked like,
I feel where you coming from off that.
yeah, like it looked like once you, I don't know, that's how I got people to pay attention to me, believe it or not. Like, and then like music very powerful like that. So I think that was kind of a way like God was like, well, this is how you're gonna express yourself. Something like that.
Well, I feel you. Sounds like we got a little bit of the same kind of background. Our family is involved with music.
Hmm.
So, what project are you currently working on right now?
Well, I'm working on a few little things. Well, musically, I'm working on a mixtape EP thing. It's called DUI, and it's kind of like double entendre. Like you got the DUI technically is like drinking under the influence. That's a whole story in itself. But I mean, I kind of got it from that. It was kind of like a moment where I had to just be like, look, you're not even taking yourself serious. You're doing all this partying and everything. You need to be in the studio writing and doing what you love doing and everything. And then like the other side of it is actually it stands for dreaming under the influence of music. So that's what I came up with that. I'm
I like.
almost done finishing it up. I just got to get the technical parts out. But it should be out this summer. So you gotta definitely check it out. And at the same time, shout out to New Age Hip Hop and DJ High Tech. I'm going to be featured on the volume Power of New Age Volume 2, because I was on Volume 1 or whatever like that with Stunt Dummy and Didn't You Know. So I got a new record that's going to be dropping real soon, so y'all got to check that out. It's called Friends.
I like the sound of that. That's cool. That's cool. So, what kind of message do you give in your music?
I give different ones. Um, I just like to call myself a real talk messenger. Like as far as the Friends song that I'm about to drop, I specifically talking about people that pretend to be your friend, like certain situations. Like my first verse, like got two friends that's clout chasing. Found a few more that was faking. Lost my mind in the process of thinking. Friendship came with deal breaking. Like it's like one of those things where you're somebody's friend, but they ain't yours. It's one of them situations like that. And I got it based off the TLC record. You know what I mean? So I just
Right.
made it to like a trap, my version slash trap type of thing. And I got my brother Yak on it also. Shout out to Yak Smith. He's a rapper.
Oh, I feel you. I feel you. I kind of like the sound of that. You said TLC. TLC is one of my favorite groups.
Hmm.
They give a message, out there to all the females, to sit there and look out for stuff and
Yeah.
make sure you got the right friends and protect yourself and
Yeah.
everything. I like.
Yeah, that's just one of the many little messages I'll be saying. Like, and then I mean, I got some deep stuff out there, but that's just like a little example. And then as far as like the stunt dummy song got dropped with the video last year and everything, which is still was getting like radio play. I don't even know how that happened because I haven't even sent none of my music to the station. It just happened. You know what I mean? I just found
Right.
out I was tagged in the playlist or two, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's what's up. Somebody did it for me. Thank God. Um, it's like basically, people stunting on what they are. We see it on Facebook all the time. You got people on there pretending to be something they're not. That's why I start off the song with like, you must be counting.
Facebook always be doing that.
Yeah, trying to generate likes and get human approval off of living your life like it is and all that. So it's like that. What is you stunting for? Like you just a stunt dummy, like the little dummies that go in the car when they test them on, they crash against the wall. That's kind of where I got. That's exactly how that looks when people do that. And I got sick of it, so I had to write the record for that.
All right. So, what's the greatest music era and why?
That's actually like debate. That's kind of like a big debate. For me, I listen to like different. I go back to like way back when they was doing like plantation blues. You know what I mean? Like from when you literally had to record all the way through straight. Even in the 90s, you had to just record everything straight. Like, but I would just say up until the 90s. Just from like maybe for me in the 90s, it's kind of like I'll be biased saying just the 90s because that's where I grew up in and everything. But I get a lot of main influence from the blues also. So I would say like um give me like I'm old school. I'm like 90s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Like everything reinvents itself, but like I'll say um this a hard one. I
It is a pretty hard one because there's
it,
everything way back like 90s and going all the way back is pretty much some good music.
yeah, it is. Like you can't even what I mean? It's like you can't even weigh it on the scale. But if you compare it to like now in the 90s automatically win. You know what I mean? But I'm just gonna have to go on the whim and say like mm, I'm gonna go like probably around the Motown era, maybe. Probably
Motown, good old Motown.
like around there when we had like all the blues singers and everything out. Like around when the blues was popular, that era, up until like the early 80s, late 70s, before rap started kicking in. I'll say that. Love rap to death, but we already know where all that comes from.
You come from the soul, that soul music.
Yeah, it's just I always said like rap is for people sometimes that can't sing, so they express it by, talking it a certain way. You know what I mean? So
Right, which is what they call poetry. Why they sit there and
yeah,
call Tupac
uh-huh.
the poet rapper.
Yeah, like something like that. Yeah. But like, around the era where before it was even thought about, like around there, because you can go back to them old songs and everything, and they like literally like you can put on blues or jazz and they saying some stuff that's still relevant, Even like yeah, anything up to like '90s and down was the best there, basically. It's very like
I feel you on that one.
songs. Yeah,
No disagreement there. I agree 100% on that.
yeah, because you can't really relate to like a lot of stuff now, because everybody kind of like sound the same or swagger jacking, and it's hard for people to have their own identity now. So it's kind of like then you knew who somebody was when they got on stage, or when you heard a record by them or something. Like you just knew it. Like everybody stood for their own voice and their own sound of music.
All right, so who would you like to collaborate with and why?
Hmm. Them. It's a lot of people I would love to collaborate with, but I really, for like the past, maybe since like I first heard her like in 2012, Sizzle, like I feel like I don't know, I just understand her for some reason. Even with like her old stuff when she first when she was like an underground singer, before she signed to TDE, like she was like dope. Like either like her or Erica, but like SZA for real, cause she like her metaphors and everything. I don't know. It just seemed like some of her music to me is like a soundtrack of what I was going through or what I was feeling. You know what I mean? And I can really vibe with that. Like she was like the answer to all the stuff I was writing and singing about that I used to contradict myself on or wouldn't even record it because people would be looking at me crazy. And around that time, when nobody really singing for real, like you can count the number of singers in 2011 and 12, but like, cause it was a dry spell for a minute, especially for like R&B. But I'll say her because I understand her and the stuff she be saying. People are just now getting hip to her, but I kind of was like one of them people that listen to you before you get famous. And I kind of she just I don't know, she put my ears in the right direction.
You got people like that to sit there and you be like the day one,
Yeah,
direct day
I can
one
say
from when they first started.
yeah, she gave me an eargasm, you know, with a lot of her music. Hopefully, I can do that for somebody.
Hopefully. I mean, you just got to be out there to do what you do,
Yeah,
and you can influence somebody else.
true.
If you can change anything in the music industry, what would it be?
It's gonna let me start out with this. You notice how like if you're black, it don't even matter what kind of music you sing, you automatically get thrown on the R&B and rap charts or something, and you can put out a song like Adele, but they'll put you on adult contemporary charts or something like that. But if it was like Justin Timberlake or Sam Smith that be singing R&B music, they automatically get pop radio. You know what I mean? They
Right.
automatically get transferred over to the Billboard. They don't have to start from an R&B chart or a hip hop chart, and then because when we do stuff like that, it look like we got to do like two or three charts before we even cross over. That's what they call a crossover. It's still kind of like racially divided to me. It's still to me like back in the day when they had segregated audiences. It's just behind the scenes, but people ain't looking at the big picture. Like it's so much, especially like being a black artist, you feel like you have to be stuck doing a certain genre or whatever because you automatically gonna get thrown over there. You know what I mean? Like, uh,
Right. And it's so hard for us because look at Taylor Swift. She was a country singer
yeah,
and then she switched to
and
pop. It
yep,
was so easy for
so
her
easy
because
for
she's
her to
white.
do it. It was very easy for her, opposed to like K Michelle or the Lil Nas X dude. Like K Michelle, she soul all day. You know what I mean? And they like when she trying to put out country songs and everything, she's still getting boxed into okay, you're still an R&B singer. You know what I mean? Like because you're black, you're R&B or you're hip hop automatically. Opposed to when you overseas, they just listen to the music. It ain't nothing like that going on. You know what I mean? And
Right.
that's one thing I would really want to change because it's just like, you know, like people like even like people like JoJo or whatever, like they was saying she was a pop singer. She clearly was an R&B singer all day when she first came out, but she got thrown into okay, she a white girl, so they automatically compare her to Britney Spears, which I know she probably wasn't feeling because she wasn't making real like pop records or nothing like that. But same time, pop mean popular, but I mean, you get the, you know what a pop song to me, pop is like a radio friendly type of. It don't got no soul in it, basically. But
Pop, you know how stuff just pop,
yeah,
you know.
you know that type of thing. You know what I mean? It's like I wish I could change that. That's one thing I wish I could change. And then the colorism, nobody wants to talk about. We had a lot of more dark skinned women back then I was winning, like such as Escape and SWV. It's more harder for women anyway, but I feel like there's a lot of colorism. They'll put out a Cassie before they'll put out a Jasmine Sullivan or
Yeah, that's true. You see a lot more light skinned.
yeah,
I mean, they are our color, but still, like, they're a lot light skinned, and they get more credibility because they're light skinned than the dark.
yeah, exactly. It's like that type of thing. Or if you're not overly sexualizing yourself, then you automatically get thrown as boring or whatever for some weird reason. But because I remember back in the day, like we had like black A&R departments where everybody got a chance to shine and be on MTV and all that, and it was. I mean, that's like a
I understand where you're coming from. They actually had an episode of Blackish
mhm,
that talked about colorism,
yeah,
and it was a really good episode. Just sitting there talking, like, it really was good to sit there to be more light skinned because you get treated more fairly with the whites because you're not dark on black.
yeah, and it ain't even like taken away from nobody talent or nothing like that. But I mean, cause can't nobody help what color they are. But it's just like you get more, you know, like especially as a woman, you already kind of like gotta work 20 times harder. But being a dark sister is kind of like you can sing your ass off. Like it ain't too many of them that's really out like they should be and can blow their butt off. But you're not going. It's like you get put in the underground circuit now. You know what I mean? Unless you collaborate with somebody or do something extra sexy or something. But it's like you don't get paid
Like your Beyonce or something, the female rates has gone down since the 90s.
ass. But it probably won't even be another Beyonce after a while. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't even see any other chick coming in behind her. And it might could be, she just might be dark skinned. But You know, she sing about stuff like that too, which this is why I really dig her and the police brutality and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like even her dad said, she wouldn't be as big if she wasn't yellow. I didn't like the way he said it because it made it look like she had no talent. Because clearly it's a lot of girls that you could be like they made it because they was bright. You know what I mean? Some of them can't even really sing like that. Like,
Well, I mean, there's a lot of girls, I mean, that could be out there and that was big, but they was big
mm-hmm.
back then.
Right.
And now you sit there and you look at them, they're big in other places. They're not doing anything musically. They're acting. They got their own businesses.
Right.
That's how they're sitting there growing their popularity.
Like Brandy, like she was.
Brandy, Monica was hot.
Yeah, like, and it was like fair skinned black women. You know what I'm saying? So, I wish I could change that. And another thing.
Destiny's Child, just look at that. I mean, Beyonce's grown big, but the other two girls, just think Michelle and Kelly,
Yeah,
they're a lot dark skinned than her.
yeah, and Latoya Luckett.
Yep,
You know,
Latoya. You don't even hear about the other fourth one, Latavia.
Yeah, we don't hear nothing about her. I be looking her up sometimes, but I don't really hear anything. Yeah, I don't. And nobody even mentions Farrah.
No, not at all.
No shade, but she can't sing. Sorry.
That's your opinion.
Farrah can't sing. Oh, she's beautiful though. But yeah, it's crazy how that is. And then there's another one I would like to change. Like I feel like um everybody feel like they gotta be hard about some shit when they get on the mic all the time, and ain't nobody. Well, I ain't gonna say ain't nobody expressing themselves. It goes back to that. Another, I mean, black people do that to themselves too, because now we in this like rap world where everybody feel like you gotta be talking about gang shit or whatever when you get on the mic, or it's so jacked up now. When I say I do music or something to somebody, they automatically assume I'm a rapper. Like nobody thinks of singing anymore.
No, that was also 90s. I mean, I've seen it on YouTube where different videos and people wishing that they can go back to the era where that music originally came from.
Mhm.
And like now that music don't make sense. I mean, you want to sit there and talk about gangs and stuff like that. I mean, how did they do it back then? I mean, check it out, NWA.
Right,
I mean, they was all in that,
right,
but they did their music in a whole perspective where people can understand what they're talking
yeah,
about. They were banned from playing at
yeah.
places. I mean, nowadays here they're fighting
And
and stuff
everything.
too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's like not even, or maybe I'm not running into the right people, because I like a lot of it. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like, as far as like being a black dude, being a black man anyway, and you saying you doing music, they automatically like people, even black people do that. Like, oh, you a rapper? I be like, what? I mean, I can rap, but I'm a singer, so they be like, oh. But I mean,
Everybody wants to be a rapper.
yeah, everybody does, and everybody's not great, and everybody's not great at singing either. But I'm not. That's why I call myself a misfit. You know what I mean? Because I feel like, even with like I was on another mixtape by this dude named DJ Cyril, whatever. Get the Bag, Volume 18. Uh, I was like the only singer on there. But see, the Stun Dummy wasn't even a singing song though. It was like kind of like a swag type of message song. So it wasn't really like the song didn't like I had put out or whatever. But still in all, I was like, it's so many rappers like, we get minimized. You know what I'm saying? When it gets like when you be like somebody sing, it's kind of like, are they gonna be a trap singer or whatever? Like everything's kind of boxed. Like I think we do that to ourselves too. Like, cause that even goes off of because I sing about different stuff, but it even like goes off the fact, some of us feel like we can't sing about love, even though I don't sing about it all the time because I'm not. It's so much stuff to sing about. But like for example, I feel like you know when you do, it's like people kind of like look at you crazy because like everybody's like rapping, or the R&B guy or singer feel like they can't do that because everybody's so tough or whatever. And most of the singers are tough now. Like it ain't,
Right.
but I don't want to put nobody in a box. So maybe, we in the era where
I mean, I've seen that kind of concept. Just check it out, like between like Chris Brown and Trey Songz from when they
mm,
first began
mm,
in their career up until what they're doing now. It's a complete difference.
right. Yeah. And I enjoy a lot of it too. And then again, you never know. They might have wanted to make that type of music because I remember Chris said he wanted to be a rapper at first, and they told him to stick to singing. Believe it or not. So
I mean, he do a little bit of both now. He's switching up doing his own thing. He do a little bit of both on his tracks.
mhm. And then when you under contract, they might just have you just one certain way. So when you do try to like do something else. Like
Right, that's true. He did start at a young
at
age.
16, he had no control over his career. Like you got people telling you what to do, so that's kind of hard too. So it's all about, um, you know, like
That's something that Sammy had to go
yeah,
through because Sammy's still doing his mixtapes and such, but it's hard for him to push out a whole album. He's not as popular as he was
yeah,
before, but he was in a group long time ago.
mm, yeah.
Same with Lloyd. He was in a group a long time
He
ago.
was with Intune. Yep, I remember that when I was a kid. Actually, Sammy was kind of like one of the reasons why I started writing music, because it was me and my cousin Kendra. Like, came out with our little song called "Can Anybody Love Me?" Wrote it. Like, we seen a little kid on TV, and I'm like, wow, this boy can really sing. But it's like '99. I'm like 9 and 10 years old, so like I can ask. Like he is one of them people you gotta bring up because people act like they forget him. You know what I mean? Like he was like one of my influences as a kid and everything like that. And it was like he came out so young, and then he like disappeared all the way from when I was in elementary to when I was in high school. You know what I mean? And then we had Mario come out, Chris Brown, like all different kind of other guys that kind of overshadow him. But like I'll say he kind of got that started. Yeah, kind of crazy though, but yeah, like it's so hard for him. You know what I mean? Because he's still being looked at as a kid, I guess. You know what I mean? And now that he grown, is like, the stuff he is singing about, and the boy can really sing. He can now sing a lot of us, to be honest. You know what I mean? But
That's true.
yeah, it's just like I don't, I kind of like, and then you got to think when you start out young and you trying to come back or whatever. In between people stealing your money and everything, you might have people pulling strings, so you can't, get to where you want to go. So it's a lot of stuff to look out. And it's like I studied all that. Like I didn't know it was so many like rules. It's kind of like a dope game or something. Believe it or not,
Kind of looks that way
it's
nowadays.
crazy. You know what I mean?
I know, I know. All right, for the last question, is there anything you would like to say to our listeners out there?
And I would like to say Dimo Montez or Dimo, whatever you feel like calling me, is definitely on his way to do some major things. I'll give a shout out to Yak Smith, Ricochet, that whole EBE click, New Age Hip Hop, DJ High Tech. But follow me on social media. At on Twitter, I'm at Dimo Montez. I'm Dimo underscore Montez on Instagram, and I'm Dimo Montez on Facebook. I want y'all to check out my new single I'm about to be dropping real soon. It's called Friends featuring Yak Smith. I'm trying to get my shoe line basically modified and put in production. They call it Modest Misfit. So you can go to liveshoes.com, and Modest Misfit is actually I got like a different kind of shoes. I'm trying to get that off the ground for real too. I got my podcast details with Dimo bussing. So I want y'all to check that out also. I just want everybody to know, don't give up on what you're doing because I'm definitely not going to give up on nothing. So shout out to everybody that have been messing with me.
All right. Well, thank you for sitting there, coming on my show, sitting there introducing yourself.
Yeah, and thank you for having me. You know what I mean? Because, I thought that was real cool of you to reach out to me and everything. See, I never even knew you was paying attention to me either, though, which was crazy. Shout out to you for that. So, in case like 10 years from now, I'll be big, you could be like, I was the first one that interviewed this dude.
Right. I'll be the first person to sit there and interviewed you. Been knowing you for
You
what?
got the exclusive in depthness, like Rags to Riches interview right here exclusively.
Platinum Gold interview.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, so I guess we're gonna close the show.
All right. Thank you for having me. Shout out to you. Thank you. You know what I mean?
You're welcome and thank you.
All right. It's a wrap.
That concludes the show for tonight. I really enjoyed having my nice little interview with my buddy, Dimo Montez, and telling you guys about me. Look forward for the next show to air on Father's Day. It's going to be Fathers of Music, kind of like the Mother's Day show. It's going to be all about the fathers on Father's Day. So look forward to that, June 16th. This is DJ Freaky Cree, and All Trouble is closing out.